Rivers create erosional landforms. These are found in the upper course of the river in this area here, things including the waterfall and a V-shaped valley found close to the source. This is how the river erodes. Hydraulic action, which is the force of the water pushing air into cracks in the rocks, increasing the pressure and breaking bits off. Attrition. This doesn't erode the river itself, but this is where the bedload or the sediment that the river is carrying bangs against each other and breaks down into smaller sized particles. So attrition is responsible for small sediment in the lower course. Abrasion, this is where the rocks the river picks up erodes the riverbed and the river banks, moved along in traction here because it's quite heavy. And solution is where certain minerals are dissolved in the river and carried that way. So this is the first landform of erosion, a V-shaped valley found right at the source of rivers, and this is where the river cuts down vertically into the landscape because the water is trying to get downhill, down to the level of the sea. But as we can see, it has to flow around certain bands of hard rock, and these are called interlocking spurs. As the river gets to it, hard rock has to flow around it, hits hard rock, has to flow around that as well. So it does the erosion using the bedload, angular bedload, lots of erosion, carries it along in traction, and so this erodes by abrasion. But of course you also get hydraulic action eroding the valley too. Second landform is a waterfall. Starts off where the river will flow over hard and soft rock, moving that way. And of course the softer rock becomes eroded a little bit more quickly than the hard rock, and this leaves a step in the river. So the hard rock remains, but the soft rock moves down. And this is the start of the waterfall. Here we can see it below in its entirety. Hard rock at the top, a little bit of a cap, and underneath the soft rock is being undercut through processes like hydraulic action and abrasion. There is a plunge pool at the bottom of the waterfall, and eventually then, of course, the top of the overhang will collapse, and this adds sediment into the plunge pool, used then within abrasion. And as the top collapses, the waterfall moves backwards, and this will ultimately form a gorge.